Towson and James Madison University, two of the top teams perennially in the CAA, squaring off in our CAA Game of the Week. The Dukes and Tigers, two NCAA tournament teams from a year ago, renewing their rivalry here on Lac Sports Network.
At the end of the game, the ball goes inside. It's scoring.
Lac Sports Network is proud to present the CAA Game of the Week. Today we bring you the first women's matchup on the Game of the Week slate as the 14th ranked Towson Tigers visit the James Madison Dukes live from Centera Park here in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Travis Eldridge alongside the former Duke and current U.S. Women's National Team player Kelly Berger will be alongside you for this one. For Towson, we talk about this team is having a lot coming back from an NCAA tournament team a year ago. They're led by Natalie Salmonte, who's coming off a stellar freshman year.
Yeah, and that's the biggest story, is she's a sophomore, and only a sophomore, and she's leading them. Her coach talks about her being a hard-nosed player, someone that's really active all over the field, but just gets the job done, and it's super impressive that she's only a sophomore and does this. On the
James Madison side, a little bit older player for them that's leading the way for the Dukes in Haley Warden. She does just about everything for them in the midfield.
That's the most impressive thing. I think she's all over the field, and every bit of a transition or goal that's scored, even on the defensive end too, she's involved, and that's really fun to watch in a player.
So we look at the stats for both of these players. Salmonte leading the way, 25 goals and 10 assists for 35 points. We mentioned Warden. She does just about everything for them. 15 goals and 6 assists. Also leads the team in draw controls. Both of those players will be players to watch here today. And so we're about ready to go here at Centera Park. You notice the pink uniforms for James Madison. This the Friends of Jacqueline game. Unfortunately, their friend of Jacqueline that they had adopted as part of this Dukes team, Ellie Hauderschill, passed away, lost her battle with cancer back in October of 2013. But today, prior to the game, releasing pink balloons up into the air. A nice moment to honor Ellie and all she meant to this James Madison program.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome to see, and it's an incredible foundation. It's awesome to see that each team has someone that they support, and it's, like I said, an awesome foundation, so well done.
As for the Tigers, they're in their road blacks, all black for Towson. The business trip for Towson as they look to start off CAA play unbeaten. At the draw control circle, we will see number 25, Haley Warden. We mentioned her in the open. She leads this team in draw controls, also leads the team in ground balls, cause turnovers. She does just about everything for the Dukes. As for on the other side, Natalie Salmonte will take the draw for the Tigers. Both these teams in the mix nationally. James Madison not currently ranked in the media poll, but they are receiving votes. Towson ranked 14th in the country as we are about to get underway here from Centera Park in our CAA Game of the Week. So Monte had a beat on it, still loose. And a real battle for the loose ball to open up this game. Caitlin Montalbano won it originally, but it's pushed away by JMU. The Dukes with control, and it looks like they'll get the first possession of the game.
Yeah, you can see from the start how physical Towson is. You'll see that all game long.
Kristin Guardian starts things up, but the loose ball is collected by Towson, and back the other way we go. This is Emily Gillingham racing into the attacking zone. Gillingham all the way down the middle. Shot is saved. Emily Polma up to the challenge for JMU.
Big stop there. See what they can do with it here, coming down. Talked about beating them in transition here, not letting them set up. Towson get into their zone.
Guardian is able to race in, and now things a little bit more settled for the Dukes as they work from right to left here at Centera Park. And Kelly, we talked to both of these coaches prior to this week leading up to this game, and they mentioned the zone defense with the new 90-second shot clock. It's interesting to see both these teams. We will see zone from them, and it'll be interesting to see who wins that battle.
Exactly, and you'll see it right here that they'll start out with it, and it's all about communication. It's about being in the right spot, listening just as much as talking.
You have a foul there on Kelly McQuilkin, back behind the cage. And it's Katie Kerrigan that'll start things up for the Dukes. Tough pass, corral, but nice defensive play by the Tigers. Olivia Conti able to make the strip and races over midfield. As we get a chance to really see this Towson offense for the first time today, Carly Telekamp behind the cage here for Towson. You'll notice her size, one of the tallest players you will see in Division I Women's Lacrosse, listed at 6'2".
Yeah, that is no small person there. Oh, nice finish.
Right in front, it's Natalie Solmonte. Second on the team in goals, her 26th of the year, and Towson's on the board first, 1-0.
You can see there Towson does a really good job of handling that pressure behind the goal, staying calm. We'll see if they do that all game, because that is a key factor of JMU trying to step out there and challenge them.
Solmonte, the CAA Rookie of the Year last season for Towson. Just a sophomore, but already picked to be a preseason All-CAA player. She scored 219 goals in her 4-year high school career, so scoring is certainly not a foreign thing for Natalie.
Big draw here. Let's see if it gets out clean this time, or if it's a little bit more messy.
There's a real fight for it early on, as it's Warden able to come away with the draw control, and here come the Dukes. Unsettled situation, and she buries it. Number 4, Hannah Haven, right back at you comes James Madison to tie things up at 1.
Haley starts us off with a clean draw, but to be able to push that fast break is definitely something that JMU needs to look to do.
And really, that's one of your keys to this game, is we look at things that James Madison will need to do to knock off Towson. It's get things going in transition.
Catch them unsettled. That would be a main key for me.
As for the Tigers, what do they need to do if they want to keep on clicking as they ride a 4-game winning streak into this one?
You know, I think the biggest thing is they need to improve on the small things. We talked to Sonia this past week, and she said she wanted to just, you know, not focus too much on the other team, more focus on themselves and see what they can do to kind of improve themselves, and just not look too much into things, as just keep it clean and play their game.
We mentioned it in the pregame. These two teams are in very different situations. Both NCAA tournament teams from a year ago. Towson returns a lot from that team, whereas JMU returns just 4 starters from last year's squad that made the NCAA tournament as an at-large team. And so very different scenarios for these two coaches as they try to get their teams ready for conference play.
Different scenarios, and hopefully, you know, getting the rivalry down, of explaining to your team that this is a big game. Even though they're young, they might not understand it based on playing, but hopefully you can kind of explain that to them just through practice and through film and all those good things.
These two schools have combined to win the last 9 CAA titles, so chances are one of them at least will be in the mix come conference championship time later on this season.
Yeah, take it back. We've been playing them for a while, so I would say JMU definitely understands the rivalry, and I think Towson does as well.
Absolutely, as Towson picks up the loose ball here, looking to take the lead back as the two teams have traded early goals so far, about 4 minutes in this opening half.
You would hope by now maybe the nerves are out a little bit. They're getting some touches on the ball. They're getting a feel for the game, both sides, JMU and Towson. So we'll see what Towson does with it here.
This rivalry is that pass goes over the end line. Samantha Brookhart couldn't handle it for Towson.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're still a little jittery.
But it's interesting, this rivalry we mentioned so much. They play at the end of the season so often in the championship, but they also usually match up at the end of the regular season, a lot of times determining conference tournament seeding. This is the first time in this rivalry that they're meeting in Game 1 of CAA play.
That could be interesting too, because maybe they meet early on and then they grow as a team and they meet again later on. So it could be an interesting story to watch.
A lot of things can change over the next month or so before we get to conference tournament time, as James Madison has it. And it's Maddie McDaniel that'll restart it here for the Dukes.
That was an offsides call there that Towson looks like they were offsides.
So here comes JMU. Working in, shot is saved. Angie Benson with the big stop. A whistle and JMU will keep.
It's a great take there by Kristin. Good save, just good lacrosse.
So a settled offensive set here for JMU. Working against this Towson defense that's been one of the best in the country, ranking 11th nationally heading into this game. Leah Monticello sends it over, back to Guardian, the top of the arc. Guardian draws the whistle. Restarts as Haley Warden collects. Kerrigan, feed in front. Shot couldn't quite get through, and a loose ball. And Benson able to collect it in the crease and start the clear here for Towson, but an errant pass gives it right back to JMU.
Lots of bodies there in the attacking end for JMU, meaning inside the 8 there, they're trying to break the zone, but there are a lot of bodies involved. It's hard to get the ball in there, so I would encourage them to try and spread it out a little bit more, move around.
A lot of traffic.
Yeah.
When you play against a zone like Towson's, what are some of the things you may have to do differently as opposed to playing in as you see a push behind there. Leah Monticello goes down pretty hard. She's helped to her feet. Kelly McQuilkin gets the foul.
You know, it's dependent on who you ask and how you beat that zone, but I think keeping the ball moving is very important.
So Leah Monticello, the senior, with a free position opportunity here. Monticello races in, shot is never quite got through, stripped of the ball, it's loose in front, collected by JMU, backhand shot finished. What a finish by number 28, Elena Romsberg for JMU, and the Dukes have their first lead.
That was fancy, and I don't mind it. That was well done.
We'll get another look at that one. Elena Romsberg. Highlight reel finish for the Dukes.
I like even more so that her teammate Katie behind her stepped out of the way to make sure she wasn't in her own shooting space. It was well done there. Good play.
That may be the most excited someone has ever gotten for the second goal of a game this way into the first half. That was spectacular.
She's still jumping around. Good for her.
So JMU in style taking their first lead of the game to go up 2-1. It's Romsberg's 20th goal of the season, ranks 3rd on the team in both goals and points so far this year. The midfielder from Chalfont, Pennsylvania, went to Central Bucks West High School outside of Philadelphia. The draw control cleanly won by Emily Gillingham. She races in here for Towson. Nice dodge, but couldn't quite get the shot off. And JMU strips it away, and now has a chance to clear. Whistle on Maddie Tribby, number 15 there in black for the Tigers, and the quick restart here for JMU. Relmsburg floats it around, and an opportunity offensively here for JMU.
So here's where you want to keep the ball hot. You want to keep the ball moving, although they are doing some subbing, so they're trying to maybe just slow down, get their feet under them. But and then once you get that ball moving, you kind of want to get people moving. So start cutting.
Guardian swings it around the top. Relmsburg back behind the cage. It's deflected and looks like it'll stay with the Dukes, as Towson got at least a little piece of the stick on that one.
You see Haley up there directing, being that emotional leader.
Pretty impressive to do that as just a junior still.
I mean, says a lot for her game, for sure.
A cut in front and a finish.
Ooh.
But I believe we have an offensive foul.
Yeah, they're going to call this a dangerous shot. So her stick is going to go into the head of the Towson player, it seems, and they're going to call no goal.
Another look. Margaret Tucker Fogarty's goal is waved off.
Now this is something Towson has been working on all week, which is their clearing game. It seems that they're struggling a little bit with it, but we'll see if they can clean it up.
Coach Sonia LaMonica said it over and over to us on that call. We've been working on clearing, and they've had some trouble with it here. As Katie Kerrigan races in, and an opportunity for her in a transition type opportunity. Kerrigan first on this JMU team in points, 32 so far this season. Kerrigan goes low, but Benson up to the challenge.
Great save.
And here's another opportunity to clear here for Towson.
This is a big possession for Towson. I think they need to set the tone here on the attacking side, that they're not going to just fold over here. Then they maybe put one in the back of the net, get some good vibes.
Gillingham sends it across. Been a little sloppy for the Tigers so far. But Natalie Solmonte corrals it and sends it behind to Brookhart. Now to Telekamp.
Shooting space call there that I wonder sometimes if you get that called more now that there's more zone play, more floating bodies in there.
So a good chance here on the free position for Carly Telekamp. First on the team in goals, looking to add to it, shot wide, backed up and kept by the Tigers.
I think they're discussing here who was closer.
It was a pretty good race to the end line there.
It should be who's closest to the ball. So you may be closer to the end line, but it's always a tough call to make. I don't ever want to be in their position.
Samantha Brookhart is saying, hey, let me go.
Or are they discussing the shot clock?
It's at 56 seconds right now, the 90-second shot clock, which don't believe that shot was on cage, so should be correct, and it is. Still at 54 now as Emily Gillingham flips behind her to Caitlin Montalbano.
You'll see them work the crease here. They have some big targets inside that they want to try and look for, but
couldn't find anything there. Polma able to grab it in the crease, and JMU going the other way.
Again, you want to see them try and stretch the field here, maybe push this break, catch Towson in an unsettled situation.
Towson pretty good at getting set up in that defense. As they set up again as Kristin Guardian collects for JMU. Must be something about the Tigers' culture in lacrosse that breeds great defensive teams, both the men and women, both top 15 in the country in defense. You see a nice save there by Benson again, her third of the day, but JMU able to get the rebound.
Yeah, I would definitely say that Towson is a strong defensive unit. I've been able to watch them a couple times this year, and it's stuck out to me how strong they are.
Margaret Tucker Fogarty with the free position. She goes in, shot is wide.
Lots of bodies on the ground.
Physical game
hard.
so
yeah,
far.
for sure.
JMU backs it up, and they keep the offensive set. A little over 10 minutes into this first half.
So it looks like JMU's posting someone up in the middle, which is not a bad idea here, trying to catch them off guard and find that open girl.
Haven draws the call.
A little draw and dump there style from basketball almost.
And it's Kristin Guardian has the free position for the Dukes, and she finishes. A 2-goal lead for JMU at 3-1, their largest of the day.
You're going to see here on this 8 meter, she gets off this line very quick, which is the key in most 8 meters, and she fires it hard. So it's not always about maybe dodging that other defender next to you. It's about focusing on you, getting off that line and finishing a hard shot.
We have a timeout here on the field. We'll take one as well. JMU an early lead, up 3-1 here on the Tigers in our CAA Game of the Week on Lac Sports Network. Lac Sports Network is your home for CAA Lacrosse in 2017 with a Game of the Week schedule featuring 19 games, including both men's and women's semifinals. We'll have more CAA women's lacrosse for you Sunday, April 9th, when Elon travels to Maryland to take on these Towson Tigers. The pregame show gets you started 11:30 a.m. Game time set for noon. The CAA Game of the Week only on Lac Sports Network. The Phoenix, another one of these CAA teams that has gotten a lot of recognition nationally so far. They have wins over a couple of ACC schools so far this season, and is another one of the teams that's in the mix with JMU and Towson, expected to be in the CAA championship mix down the stretch of the season.
right along with lacrosse season. You just never know what's going to happen.
It has been, both men's and women's, a hectic season so far, and certainly enjoyable as now we hit conference play, and that's when things really open up.
Yeah, totally. And I think, honestly, that's what makes it exciting. I would rather have a bunch of teams not knowing where it's going to go and what you're going to do that day. It's definitely a cool thing to watch through the season.
So James Madison up 3-1 here on Towson, the 14th ranked team in the country, the Tigers. An early 2-goal lead in the first half as we go back to the draw control circle. It's won by Emily Gillingham. Came into this game second on the team in draw controls, and she's had a couple of great beats on the ball coming off that draw and wins it for the Tigers.
So I thought there, why aren't they pushing the break? And what I've noticed is they have a little bit of a subbing situation going on after the draw control. So Towson loses some bodies and they sub off some players and then come back in. So it seems like they're settling the ball a bit more maybe than JMU, but we'll see what they can do with that.
We've seen JMU being able to capitalize on transition a couple of times already today. But for now, it's Towson working on the right end of the field here at Centera Park in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Gillingham racing through the defense. Big collision. JMU gets the call.
Offsetting fouls here. It looks like the official there had her flag up for a push, and then there was an offensive foul. Good job on their part to recognize that.
There's been no shortage of physicality so far in this first half.
You can guarantee that with a JMU Towson match.
Two teams that know at the end of the year they're likely to probably see each other at least one more time. These two teams have played in 5 of the last 6 CAA championship games. One of them has won the last 9 CAA championships here in the women's game.
I will say that rivalry comes with a lot of respect. So we face off a lot against each other, but it's definitely a respected rivalry.
Michaela Durante cuts, sends it behind. Feed in front to Caitlin Montalbano, couldn't be corralled, and James Madison looks to go in transition.
They have numbers here. Let's see if they move that ball.
Romsberg looks to cut instead. Sends it behind, and the push will keep it with JMU.
I always find that interesting when the girl's cross-checking and she doesn't know why it's a foul. Well, you can't do that in our sport.
In the men's game, you can get away with that one.
Yeah, and that's not even necessarily
but
legal,
sometimes no.
Walk the fine line, I guess they say.
You do it until they call it.
Yep.
And then you got to stop.
It's better to say sorry sometimes, I guess.
Here comes JMU once again trying to work against this Towson zone. A whistle before the shot.
I would like to see the JMU player hold that shot, not take that shot. If there's someone in shooting space as a young player, don't shoot that. Hold that ball for safety reasons.
And so Hannah Haven will get the free position opportunity for JMU, looking to take a 3-goal advantage. Shot is saved by Benson.
So you saw there on that first shot, she took a high shot. So I would say maybe when she gets up to that 8-meter, maybe try as a young player, change your shot up. Maybe now take a low shot instead of a high one. Keep that goalie on their toes.
Despite the save, JMU still keeps possession. So near the midway point of the first half. Pass in front finds its way all the way to Haven. And a lot of traffic in the middle. Picked up by JMU, and they keep possession.
I will say JMU's getting gritty on these 50-50s.
Romsberg again, right place, right time for her. It's 4-1, JMU lead.
Lots of scrappy play out there right now, and it looks like the pink jerseys are firing them up to win those 50-50s, so we'll see if Towson can make that change.
Second straight play. We saw the fancy finish from Romsberg earlier for the second goal of the game. Here, once again, just right place, right time on a loose ball opportunity. And her second goal of the game gives JMU a 3-goal advantage.
I think I would put that in the category of clearing. I think Sonia might be a little upset at them about that, about finishing the play, I guess I would call it, and then leading that into clearing the ball.
If there's one part of Towson's game where you could tell Sonia LaMonica, the head coach for the Tigers, was worried about, was that clearing game, and we've seen some struggles in that so far today.
Empty call there. No ball in the stick yet before she checked.
So James Madison a chance to add to this lead once again in a transition opportunity. Romsberg does well to pick up that ground ball.
So now it's on their side to kind of take some time. JMU, they're in control. So if they don't want to push it right now, they don't have to.
I think it's interesting. A lot of the scoring for JMU hasn't come against this settled defense, but it's come in the unsettled situations off of a missed shot or a save or a rebound.
For sure. One thing to think about is you can't just toss it around for too long.
Benson comes out of the cage to make a nice play, and Towson able to take it away.
You can see that goalie is trying to give them, Towson's goalie is trying to give them a spark. She's made a couple good saves. That was a great read on her end. See what they can do here in the clear.
Benson already 4 saves today, coming off a really good game against Oregon, especially in the first half. A preseason All-CAA pick for the Tigers as Emily Gillingham, the midfielder, races over. Towson looking to cut into this lead. Had a 1-0 lead in this game, but 4 unanswered goals for JMU, and all the momentum back to the Dukes. It hasn't been crisp for the Tigers offensively here today.
Yeah, they seem a little rattled early, but that doesn't mean they can't make a change. It's a long game.
Here's Maddie Tribby in that midfield unit for the Tigers. Back to Gillingham. Solmonti. She draws a whistle. Solmonte is going to have a free position shot. 10 of 19 on free positions so far this season. Chance to improve that number here. It squeaked past the goalie but couldn't get into the net. And Pulma able to collect it in the crease and start the clear for JMU.
JMU's getting out quick and early. See if they do anything with this fast break.
Guardian wanted to go early, instead turned back. And a settled offensive set here for the Dukes once again.
Getting some new faces in there on the attacking end for JMU. Letting some players catch their breath.
Really done it from all over so far today. You have Guardian with a goal. Haven has a goal as well. Romsberg with the pair as a...
Yeah, they're going to get this one with a card. A little too physical for that official's liking.
Michelle Gilday gets sent off here for Towson. It's the first yellow card of this game.
JMU has to make sure they keep their head here as the game gets more physical, which you can guarantee it will. Just make sure that, you know, both ends keep their heads and play clean.
Katie Kerrigan dances with it behind the cage. They set things up here. Towson pressing out, a little bit of pressure here on JMU.
Yeah, it seems like they want to get up in the JMU's attackers' hands. Don't make them feel so comfortable. Looks like it's working.
Fans were looking for a whistle, but JMU keeps it instead. I think that'll make them happy as we tick towards 11 minutes to go in the first half. Kerrigan feeds in front, couldn't get a shot off. And Towson's gonna come away with the ball here.
So Towson will come in, there'll be a man down. So we'll see what they do here. If they hold on to the ball, they kill the penalty, or will they look to maybe push in an unsettled situation if they have a good opportunity?
Loose ball around midfield. It's collected by JMU and a chance to go. Guardian, 1-on-2, shoots and scores. Kristin Guardian, second of the day. JMU on a 5-goal run to lead 5-1.
It's a great finish by Kristin. She has a fast, hard shot, one that's pretty tough to read. Good snap of that top wrist, putting it right where she wants it.
Guardian's 24th goal of the season. Now has the lead on the team as her and Hannah Haven have been chasing after that first spot and scoring for this JMU Dukes team.
We say they're young, but they're not acting young. I can tell you that. New faces on this team, but they playing like they've been there, so. It's a long game, like we said. I think Shelly told us early in the week that she wants her team to ride the wave, be able to take on the ups and the downs of the game, and realizing that it is long. It's a long one.
Last week for Towson, tied at 2 with Oregon going into the half. They then went on a 7-0 run in the second half to really take control of that one. So the Tigers, a veteran squad that I think it takes a lot to rattle them.
For sure, and I think they have to remember that they are deep and they have a lot of players that can have big impacts. So rely on that and remember that they're coming off winning streak against some really good teams.
But it's JMU once again coming up with the draw control and now an opportunity offensively. Haley Dunkel draws the call here and an opportunity for JMU. Continue to try to add to this lead.
So we're all even here. You can tell that now they're talking through this zone. Towson's talking through this zone. JMU's back to feeling all even, moving that ball.
Guardian to Kerrigan. Sends it behind, but Benson comes out of the crease to make a nice steal.
Benson, being a good active goalie, almost plays as an 8th defender, and that is key, especially in a zone.
Gilday races into the offensive zone. Feeds behind to Telecamp and draws the foul here.
Another one of those cross checks.
So Caitlin Montalbano will set things up for the Tigers, who really haven't had a lot of possession time so far in this first half.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that ball is down on that other end.
Feed couldn't get through to Carly Tellecamp, and it's Emily Poma collecting in the crease.
Towson needs to ride hard here, not make it so easy for JMU to clear that ball. Work all the way to the opposite 30 if you're that low attacker.
Romsberg had a step on her defender and draws another whistle. JMU once again has a chance to add to this lead. And you mentioned not having as much pressure in the riding game for Towson against JMU, and with the shot clock at 90 seconds, the more time you have at the offensive area, the better off you have chance to score against the zone.
Yeah, make JMU tired. Make JMU have to work to get that ball down the field. And then think, oh my gosh, we finally got here, thank goodness.
Hannah Haven to Katie Kerrigan, pushed back.
You can see JMU has a little bit more confidence. Their passes are a little sharper. They're talking to one another. They're feeling that game a little bit better than they were at the start.
Gilday made a nice play, pokes it free again. Gets another whistle, and tell she's getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, you can see that Towson's getting frustrated, but I would tell them to just go back to what they're good at. Their defense is really good, so hang on to that. You know, talk a lot, communicate, listen, stick to the basics, take one goal at a time.
Haven fires back out top, spin. Back around behind the cage here for JMU. Romsberg. Strip free and draws another whistle.
It's a good thought on that check, but you just got to make it clean. You got to come back up. You got to not be near their head. Good double team. I thought Towson did better there, but JMU's really moving that ball well.
Romsberg already with a couple of goals today. Floats it back to the other side. Warden slicing and dicing and draws another whistle. And a free position opportunity here for the Dukes.
She's that low player down on the attacking side.
Feeds in front, another save.
Reset on that shot clock because it did hit the goalie there and then the pipe, so they get a fresh start. It's probably always a good thing as a coach. You can take a deep breath. You got another 90 seconds, you're ahead. Let's take some time.
That was Angie Benson's 5th save already of this first half. This Towson defense certainly tested here by JMU with these long possessions, but it ranks 11th in the country, as we mentioned. They give up under 9 goals per game, so JMU already on pace to better what Towson usually gives up per game. Feed in front, another save from Benson.
Benson came to play today, I will say that. She has saved their booties.
6 saves already, and we have a player down here for the Tigers. It's number 20, Tiana Walfer. Gets dusted off by her teammates. And she will get the ball here to start things up for Towson.
Tiana's a tough kid, so it takes a lot for her to go down and kind of feel that, but no doubt in my mind that she got right back up and continue to play hard.
And another strip here in the clearing game from JMU. Collision, and JMU is going to get the possession here.
Again, that's that clearing. Maybe Sonia's in their head a little too much.
It's certainly been a struggle because it's not like Towson hasn't had the ball a lot. They just have not been able to get it to their offensive end and get the offensive sets that that they would like.
And they definitely have the ability. There's no question in my mind that they have the ability to clear clean. It's just, you know, in their head right now, I think. They're overthinking it.
And so as we tick towards 6 minutes to go in the opening half, another JMU offensive set. A 5-goal run here for the Dukes. They were trailing 1-0. Towson scored the first goal of the game, but since it's been all James Madison.
Keeping that ball in your stick 2 or 3 seconds and then moving it is key when you're against a zone, because you're going to get that pressure, especially like you see Towson stepping up in that high pressure. You have to make a decision quickly. And I would almost encourage your teammates to give you that confidence to continue to move that ball. Looks like there's a 3-second call here, which is a minor foul. A little bit of change this year. So you're hoping Towson right now is talking through this, talking defensively what they should be doing, what they want to do.
Romsberg, Guardian, all getting touches here for JMU. Monticello feeds in all sorts of traffic, and Benson comes up with that loose ball.
Little force there. Now, I would like to see Towson build on that. That's a big cause turnover. Let that give you confidence and then carry through.
How big is this final 5 minutes of the first half for Towson to maybe get something offensively going heading into halftime?
Yeah, I think they need. They've been a little flat on the offensive side. I feel like the attackers might feel like they haven't touched the ball all game. And that's never a good feeling for an attacker. You know, attackers, they want the ball in their stick. So I think they need to get some touches here. They need to get a good offensive set. Even if they don't score, they need to walk away feeling confident about what they just did.
Natalie Solmonte, the lone scorer for the Tigers so far, as they look to add to that score here. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Montalbano feeds across to Tribby. Back to Gillingham. Montalbano looked to split the defense, but a caused turnover, and JMU gets the loose ball.
I don't know if that's the attacking set Sonia's looking for, but you can see their effort is there. Their minds are racing. And I think I feel for them, because I know that feeling. All players have that feeling on the attacking end. It's not feeling natural to them right now for Towson. But like we said before, it's a long game. Doesn't mean it can't change.
Here comes Haven.
I think another thing to note is when your defense is on defense for this long,
they
do get tired. So it's almost the attacking mentality needs to be for Towson to just let your defense breathe.
This is Leah Monticello. Draws a foul coming across. Leah Monticello coming back from an ACL injury last year, missed the first part of this season, but a senior leader for this team, a captain and a preseason All-CAA player. In talking with Shelly Clays-Balcom earlier this week, she said maybe not 100% coming back from that knee injury last year, but certainly has started to get the feel back at the attack for JMU. She starts things up, but Towson able to strip it away. Big caused turnover. Now we see if they can clear it, which has been a struggle for the Tigers so far today.
Yeah, I would encourage these attackers, these low attackers that are fresh, might have legs under them, to come up and support that ball in transition. You can see that they're behind the goal down by the JMU defensive end, and I would encourage them to come up and support the ball. They're probably the best with the ball in their stick, so get the ball in their stick. Best stick work usually happens on the attacking end, so those attackers need to get involved.
Towson 8 for 10 on clears today. JMU a perfect 9 for 9. And that is just part of the difference here in why Towson has had the ball far fewer times on their end of the field. Looks like Towson's trying to set something up here. Took them a lot of time to get it over. Just about 30 seconds on that shot clock now for Towson.
It's a whole new factor to think about, you know, where we are on the shot clock, how much time.
Gillingham has space. Bounce shot is saved. And eventually collected in front by Poma. She hasn't had a lot of action today, but comes up with a big save there.
So along with Towson's defense probably being really tired, JMU's defense is probably very fresh. So you might want to take a little extra time, make them a little bit out of breath, work the ball, make them think, make them move, and go from there.
We're under 2 minutes to go in the first half. JMU gets another clear here and another offensive possession.
Again, JMU's thinking, hey, we got time on our side. Let's use it. Let's catch our breath as middies. Let's talk to our attackers, see what they want.
Leah Monticello forgot the ball for a second, but scoops it up, feet in front. Almost got kicked in there by JMU. Instead, they keep possession, 35 seconds on the shot clock.
Probably around 30 seconds is where you kind of want to start to think about maybe we should look to go to goal if we still have the ball on our stick.
Monticello lost it, but
So-
the push and gives it right back.
So that's that mental game just as much as that physical game for Monticello with her knee. Coming back from that injury is tough, not only physically but mentally. So giving her a chance to breathe a second. Realize that's tough.
10 seconds on the shot clock, and once again, JMU cashes in. This time it's Haley Warden finishing, and the junior makes it 6-1 Dukes.
I would probably put this in the category as an unsettled situation. You know, Towson is not set, they're not ready. Doesn't mean they can't be effective on their defensive side, but that's, again, another offensive chance for JMU to go at them when they are unsettled.
And that has certainly been a key for JMU in this first half. 6 straight goals to take this 5-goal advantage as we're under a minute to go in the first half here at Centera Park in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
You can see that Towson's body language is a little down. I would encourage them to remember it's a long game, and you know, they have a lot of experience in this situation, so they can definitely make a change. They got to get each other up. They got to encourage each other to get that energy going. And there's a whole nother half of this.
This is a Towson team that has played some of the toughest teams in the country really well. Lost a heartbreaker to Stony Brook earlier in the season by 1. Lost to Penn State, who's been terrific this year, by just 2. Has a win over Notre Dame already this year. They've been in some really tough games, and those are the situations that they can probably call on in this spot, and as they get ready to head into halftime and try to make a comeback here in the first CAA game of the year. Here comes Emily Gillingham. Stripped of the ball, but draws the call.
Try not to stop your feet at the top of the 8. We always talk about that, especially on the national team, is keep our feet moving, keep running. You're always being chased.
Gillingham restarts. 45 seconds to go here. Tribby controls for the Tigers, but stripped away. Another caused turnover. Hannah Jablonski able to come up with that play. And about 30 seconds to go. Still time here for JMU to add to this lead. Warden feeds in front, and they cash in once again. Guardian with the finish. 7 straight for JMU.
Now, Sonia told us they worked on the clear. I wonder if Shelly worked on fast break situations, because JMU is looking fresh in that fast break situation. And they look like they know exactly where they want to put the ball and when they want to put it there. That's
Guardian's 3rd of the game, a hat trick in the first half. She's almost to her career high. She had that career high against the then #1 Tar Heels back at the start of the season. A tough game for JMU. Actually had a lead against the #1 team, defending champion North Carolina Tar Heels in game 1. Eventually lost by 2, but Guardian had 4 goals in that game against North Carolina. She's got 3 already today with 24 seconds to go in the first half.
This is a big draw for Towson more so than JMU. They need to win this draw, as they are. False start there by JMU.
Still plenty of time here to get at least one good opportunity here for the Tigers. Tribby to Telekamp. Looking for space. But another save here from Palma. Palma's 4th save of this first half, and as time winds down, 4, 3, 2, 1. And JMU very content to go into the break with a 6-goal advantage, a 7-0 run to close the first half for the Dukes. And they have a lead over the 14th ranked Towson Tigers as we head into halftime. And that was an impressive, against a team in Towson that gives up just about 8 goals per game. To put up 7 in the first half is a heck of an offensive performance.
I would definitely say that. I would also, I mean, I hate to put the blame on anyone, but Towson's offense needs to be a little better. They need to capitalize. They can't expect too many stops from a defensive side. They're goals in lacrosse. That's going to happen, right? So to hold a team to 7, it's not terrible, but Towson now needs to make some production there on that offensive end.
So we're waiting for the head coach of the Dukes, Shelly Claes-Balcom, to come across the field, talk to her before they head into the locker rooms here in Harrisonburg, Virginia. She has to be very happy with how things have gone so far in this first half.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind that she's happy, for sure. But I also know her well enough for her to say, never too high, never too low. You know, you need to stay kind of understanding that there's an entire half ahead of you.
And so we have Coach on the headset. Coach, can you hear us down there?
I certainly can.
You have to be pretty happy with a 6-goal lead heading into the half. What impressed you the most about your squad's performance in this first half?
Our ground ball game and our draw game right now, we're 100% limiting second chances on the attacking end. And it's giving us a tremendous amount of fuel and energy. You know, I'm also just really impressed with our just mental resilience all over. You know, they're picking each other up. They're, you know, excited for 8-meter opportunities, and this is exactly what we were hoping for going into this game, using all these lapses that we've had to show us what we need to do to make a difference in our success.
Yeah, Shell, I mean, I think I can see the confidence in these kids, and I can see that they're firing each other up. Is that something you guys talk about in practice and kind of encourage them to, you know, even if you're having a good time playing on the field or if you're at your lowest point, what do you encourage them to do with one another?
Well, we've talked a lot about body language lately. We actually made them watch that Gino special from a year ago about body language and just how much it makes a difference in your ability to fight. And we didn't have it last week versus Virginia. We made a big difference in the Maryland game, and that's why we stayed in the game. You know, we were able to score 11 goals against the best team in the country, you know, and I think today they made it a goal to show that throughout the game. And that's something that they can control. So I'm really proud of this young team actually taking action today. I overheard you saying never too high, never too low, and that's exactly what I said to them with a minute left in the game. I didn't want to see my sidelines all happy-go-lucky. We got 30 minutes to play. This is a great team, and we got to be able to do it again.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you so much.
So your score here at the half at Centera Park, JMU 7, Towson 1. We'll be back in a few minutes for the second half, but first, for an update on everything happening in this busy Saturday in college lacrosse, we'll send it back inside the LSN Broadcast Center. Break as you look to try to come back here.
Yeah, I'll say I wasn't sure who that team was, but we got a chance to regroup and, you know, I've challenged the team to go back to our basics and do the little things that we should be doing, but a lot of uncharacteristic things, Sorry, I'm out of breath. I ran across the field.
That was impressive.
Yeah, a lot of uncharacteristic errors. We've just got to go back to not letting the scoreboard dictate how we play and play our game. And the good news is they got an opportunity to do that in this half, to regroup and get back on track.
Yeah, you know, Sonia, I think, did you remind them how many threats they have? Because I think that's one thing that we've seen in so many games past.
Yeah.
That maybe, I think you could see frustration on that attacking side.
Yeah.
Did you tell anything to your defense? Because I wouldn't say they're playing terrible. You know, they're just playing a lot.
Yeah, we just got to play better body on D. We're chasing sticks a little bit. But, yeah, offensively, you're absolutely right, Kelly. I think we're one and done a lot. We've lost a little trust in how good we can be when we play together as a team. So that was definitely a point that was emphasized, that we got to grind it down and do it together as a team.
Yeah.
Well, Sonia, we'll let you get back to your team. Good luck in the second half.
Good luck.
Sonia LaMonica, the head coach of the Towson Tigers, as they look to come back from a 6-goal deficit here. So we put 30 more minutes on the clock at Centera Park. We mentioned it heading into half. James Madison really impressive in that first half with the patience they had against this Towson defense. They were able to find some ways in some unsettled situations offensively.
I think the energy of JMU was evident as well. You know, not all calls went their way, and not everything went their way. You know, they didn't have all great plays either. They had a couple sloppy plays, but they didn't let that affect them, whereas Towson, I think, is letting those little things affect them a little bit more, and they're carrying that weight on their shoulder, and it's clear as you watch them just walk around the field, and I would encourage them to change that.
Still 30 more minutes to go, so one of these teams is going to walk away with a great start to CAA play. This is the CAA opener for both of these squads. Both teams nationally who are getting recognition. James Madison receiving votes in the latest media poll from Inside Lacrosse. Towson, of course, ranked 14th in the country. Both these teams were NCAA tournament teams a year ago. We heard it from both coaches this week. The CAA had the third best RPI the last 2 seasons in the women's game in all of college lacrosse. So the CAA conference, well respected nationally, and very well could have a couple of teams once again going to the tournament.
Yeah, I think they got the at-large bid last year, and that's big for the CAA, and that's big for the sport of lacrosse. It just means that, you know, there's more conferences coming in. The sport's growing more and more every single year, and it's definitely encouraging to see the CAA up there at the top.
This would be a very, very big win for James Madison. Towson has some of those wins so far this year. They have a win over Notre Dame. For James Madison, they're riding a little 2-game losing streak here. They've been close in some big games, haven't quite gotten over the hump, and this young squad looks like they're putting some things together here this afternoon.
Yeah, Shelley mentioned that they haven't even recovered from the Rutgers loss, which was a couple games ago. So hopefully this will get them back on track. Win or lose, they'll feel a little bit better about it.
So far, feeling really good with a 6-goal advantage, a 7-0 run for JMU, as we're all set to start the second half here from Centera Park at James Madison University.
Sun's out. Let's see if it stays.
It's been in and out today. It looks warmer. It's a little chilly and a little windy here at Centera Park in Harrisonburg, Virginia, as James Madison comes away with the draw control. And once again, as was the case for a lot of that first half, they have possession once again.
Riding a little harder for Towson. Looks like they're trying to make it a little bit tougher for them to get that ball over the 30. It doesn't seem like JMU had too much of an issue, but see if they make that change.
So back to work go the Dukes. Hannah Haven in there in the pink uniforms for James Madison. Once again, wearing these pink uniforms for their Friends of Jacqueline game. Here comes Haven right down the middle, but it's kicked away. It looks like Benson maybe got a piece of that.
Someone did. I don't know where that ball went, but
big deflection. But JMU keeps possession.
Towson's thankful for that, for sure. Looks like it reset the shot clock there. I will say this is where I do really like the shot clock. JMU's up, but that doesn't mean they can hang on to the ball for the entire rest of the half, making our lovely sport somewhat boring if that is the case. So the shot clock is a good thing at this point.
It certainly has changed later game situations as well. A 2-goal lead no longer is the end of things with 3 minutes to go.
Let the players play.
Here's a nice defensive play by Towson and a chance to clear here. Jordan Clark coming up with a nice stop.
Good speed through the midfield there. Good hustle on both ends.
And Solmonte, one of the leaders on this Tigers team, collects offensively, and there's a whistle.
Looks like they're calling 3 seconds there. She held the flag there. She tried to see if she could get out of that, but they called it.
So Solmonte gets it back to Maddie Tribby, and they set up the offense here on the left side of the field.
Fresh start for Towson. Let's see what they do with this, if they get that confidence back.
Brookhart feeds back out top to Montalbano.
Keeping that ball hot. Looks like there was definitely discussion at halftime, not letting the ball stay in someone's stick, stop your feet. All those bad habit things that coaches don't want in their player, just like Sonia said. She didn't know who that team was.
They certainly struggled in that first half offensively. Here's Solmonte. The feed all the way back to Brookhart, too tall, and it goes over the end line.
It's a tough pass. That's a tough pass to catch. It's a tough pass to make. Just make the easy. Do the easy. No big play right now.
So we will see if James Madison can literally go end to end here, starting all the way at their own end line.
Defenders are always somewhat unsure with the ball in their stick, but they need to have confidence. They were taught the first thing in lacrosse to carry the ball in their stick. They can definitely do that.
Ball goes out of bounds. Is there a...
It's like she called a foul there, and then the ball went out. So either way, it'll be JMU's ball. Looks like they're searching for a ball, maybe. They don't have a ball. There it is.
So JMU keeps. Corinne Schmidt with it.
Looks as if JMU has some numbers here. Not too much, but if they play their cards right, they could find an opening. But then again, they might think, let's hang on to the ball. We have time.
Haven able to collect that loose ball after she took her eye off it for a second, and that keeps it here for JMU. Each one of those little opportunities kind of adds up here for the Dukes.
Yeah, and you know, less pressure. They don't have all this pressure on their shoulders. They're playing a little bit more loose. They're playing with more confidence. And I say this all the time. Women with confidence do successful things. And girls at this age who have confidence in what they're doing, they're going to do great things. So JMU's riding on that.
Have a whistle at the top.
Looks like that's another 3-second call. You do see this more often in a zone, but because it's not a major foul, it sometimes doesn't have as big of an effect, but that doesn't mean they can't score off of this.
Here's Katie Kerrigan. Spins and sends it around behind the cage. Haven's shot is, I don't know, I'm not sure if it was a shot or a pass. Either way, Benson comes out of the crease a little bit to make another stop. Of everything that Towson has done so far today, Benson has been terrific.
Benson has definitely held her own back there between the pipes, and I would congratulate her, win or loss, that she has a good game. So
already with 6 saves in the crease for the Tigers.
Good effort there to try to get a charge call, but not so much.
They'll keep it with Towson. Emily Gillingham once again controlling it as they get into the offensive end. Montalbano finishes low.
That's got to feel good. A good exhale there, you know, 1 goal at a time, chip away, but just, you know, get on the board, get back in that scoring mentality and knowing that, you know, you can do this, Towson.
The scoreless drought is over. It was More than 30 minutes for Towson between goals, but they're finally back on the board. Makes it 7-2, also ends that 7-goal JMU run. Caitlin Montalbano on the board for the first time today. That's her 17th goal of the season. She was a preseason second-team All-American by Inside Lacrosse. A junior that is one of those returning key players for this Tigers squad that made a run to the second round of the NCAA tournament last year.
One that they will have to rely on. Take her experience in this situation and try and, sprinkle that around to all your other teammates and kind of keep their spirits high and let them know that there's still a whole half.
Led the team in points as a sophomore last season, but the draw control once again goes to JMU and a chance to go in the unsettled situation. Kerrigan had a good look. She stripped, but there's the whistle.
It's like there was another foul there. I would say as a player, just listen to what the ref's saying. Stand behind her. No need to make a big deal out of it, but.
And here's Kerrigan on the free position. Sends it behind and should be another foul.
Yeah, it's another foul there. And I would encourage Towson to keep their head. They might not agree with these calls, but play their game.
It's another free position here for Kerrigan. And in a little bit of trouble. Jets out of it, passes back.
That's a great look. Backside. You see that the defense is swarming you. Good luck to find that open player.
Free position in front, a finish again. Guardian again for JMU. And just after Towson ended that 7-goal run, it's the Dukes right back on the board, an 8-2 lead.
She seems to have these 8 meters down. She gets off that line really well. She protects her stick. There is an option there for her to switch hands and put it in her left hand, but as a player, she chooses to keep it in her right. She protects it up by her head. She keeps it in front of her body and finds the net. Really well done.
Guardian matching a career high with that goal. Her 4th of the game, matches her game against North Carolina that we mentioned in the first half, where she had 4 goals in the first game of the season for the Dukes. James Madison just taking that momentum right back after Towson had a little spurt of offense.
And I think that's key. I think JMU not letting that little one goal affect them. Where, Shelley talked about understanding runs and kind of trying to maintain them, whether it's a high run or a low run, but just riding that wave, and that's important to her. So she's definitely echoed that through her team right now.
Yeah, that was one of the things she noted in our conversations this week. This team is still, as young as they are, still trying to figure out how do you stop a run? How do you go on a run yourself? And that has been kind of the Achilles heel for the Dukes so far this season.
Yeah, and I think early on, before you get in conference games, you try and find your personality. You try and, create your personality. And I think that's something Shelley was trying to stress to her young players is, it's a long game, so maintain things.
And a great opportunity here for JMU, but the shot goes high.
That's definitely unlucky. And as a player, that's a lot of pressure that you want to, just put that ball in the back of the net. But it's good hustle on Towson's end.
Leah Monticello had a great opportunity to add to the lead. Instead, Towson able to get the backup, and so they get possession here.
Here's this clearing game, taking care of this ball from Towson. They have a lot of space to use, so I would encourage them to do that. Just try and keep it simple. Catch, throw, and run. Don't think too hard. 2
failed clears so far today for the Tigers. It's been a bit of a struggle point for this team, but able to get a clear here. And they get it to the offensive players. Natalie Solmonte, Samantha Brookhart, Caitlin Montalbano. A good look in front to Solmonte. She draws the whistle.
So she catches that ball with her left hand inside. She turns and shoots. She caught it with her right hand and then went to go switch, and that gave the defender time to get on her. Jammed her up a little bit. She was able to get the ball back, but having both hands there is definitely important.
Free position chance for Solmonte. She's got a goal today.
It's unfortunate. False start.
Went a little early.
Yeah. Red light, green light game, you know? Sometimes you lose it.
And so a little break for the Tigers. Goes right back to JMU.
Ooh.
We got back-to-back false
anxious.
starts. Everybody's a little excited.
Yeah. That's tough. That's a tough one. She definitely went early.
Definitely went early.
They
give it back to Natalie Solmonte.
musical chairs.
We're back to where we started.
Unsettled situation here for Towson. Let's see if they can capitalize. It looks like from the way she's standing, it's not direct. Yeah, so she needed to pass.
Get it back to Montalbano and Durante, and an offensive set here with a fresh 90-second shot clock for Towson.
I would like to see Sam get a little bit more involved. She typically is behind the goal there, number one. She has a lot of impact in every game, so she's been quiet this game. I think she needs to get a little bit more involved with her offense, get them on the same page.
Gillingham tries for that pass to Brookhart, able to complete it. Now to Telekamp. She's been pretty quiet today. Solmonte splits the defense and finishes. Pretty move by Natalie Solmonte, her second of the game, and it's back to an 8-3 JMU lead.
I think that's a great move. It's one of the more underrated dodges. It's a redodge. So you're gonna see her here take this ball, pull out like she's gonna go away, and then catch that defense off guard and attack again. And it works a lot in a zone because as soon as you start to kind of pull out, the zone kind of fades away a little bit, relaxes, and then she goes for that one-on-one. Great finish, well done by her.
Solmonte's 27th goal of the season. CAA Rookie of the Year last year. Giving Towson a little bit of hope here. Down by 5, 22 minutes to go. Still a lot of lacrosse to play as the Tigers ranked 14th in the country entering this game. Certainly looking to come back and claw their way back in their first CAA game of the season.
Hey, and if we were at a soccer game, I would say, this might be over. But Towson's got to realize it's 5 goals. You can do that. There's a lot of time. And so I want them to pick up their energy a little bit, slap each other on the butt and say, let's go.
One place that's been interesting to watch, the draw controls. JMU has really dominated, an 8-4 advantage.
Push there on Towson. Players just going hard, and that's unfortunate, but looks like it turns out to be JMU's ball.
So another, chalking it up as another draw control here for JMU, another possession. Hannah Haven brings it into the attacking third.
So you see these JMU players communicating a lot with one another, kind of playing telephone, echoing what each other is saying, getting on the same page, and that is key in an attacking set. One player knows something different, that throws everyone off. So really being able to communicate and listen to one another.
Seeing a little bit more pressure here from the Towson defense. Stretching out a little bit.
Trying to get up in their hands, make them a little bit more uncomfortable.
Not much is thrown off the Dukes today. Really solid start to this one for JMU. Guardian feeds in front. It's some traffic, but collected, and they keep.
Down to 30 seconds on that shot clock. Might want to try and look to go here.
Romsberg's got a couple. She gets it to Haven in front, up top off the crossbar.
They get a fresh shot clock again.
So 90 more seconds here for JMU, and they can continue to work this clock a little bit.
See Haley being that that leader up top, kind of echoing what they want out of this next set. And I would say it's just as important to talk as it is, or it's just as important to listen as it is to talk. So key factor in remembering that through this offensive set.
Really good ball movement here from JMU.
The more that ball moves, the more the defense has to shift. They have to move, they have to communicate, and all those things can throw one little thing off to find that opening. Looks like there was a 3-second call. Seems everyone's confused.
And get things sorted out. Caa Kerrigan to restart from behind the cage. Sends it back out top. And once again, we saw this in the first half. Long possessions for JMU where they get a shot, a fresh 90, and then they can wear down this Towson defense again. Kerrigan feed to Romsberg up top.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Good ball movement, and that is exactly what JMU just did in that last set. They moved the ball, they kept it hot, they turned the heads of the defense, and they found that open player.
Excuse me, not Romsberg, Hannah Jablonski, another midfielder, cutting in between there to finish. Great feed here from Caa Kerrigan as well.
So now you wonder at this point, you know, Towson's given up 9 goals. Do they make a change on the defensive end? Do they go to a man-to-man? Do they stay to their defensive unit and what they're good at? You know, I don't think you make a goalie change. Benson's playing really well. So if anything, I think you're racking your brain over there. Sonia would not want to be in her shoes right now, but she's a fantastic coach. I'm sure she's got a lot of things on her mind that she can kind of adjust to see if you can make this change for this last 20 minutes.
The JMU just strictly had the ball more than Towson. 9-4 advantage now in the draw controls. Towson's 2 failed clears has contributed to that as well. It's a lot of extra possessions here for the Dukes, and they've been able to cash in on those chances. But here is a draw control for the Tigers. Caitlin Montalbano able to collect, and we'll see if Towson can settle things down again here offensively.
Getting some touches. I want Towson to communicate with each other a little bit more, you know, give confidence in one another. I like that big skip pass. That makes me nervous.
One player we haven't seen a lot from this game is Carly Tellekamp. She's got 28 goals, leads the team in goals, but she hasn't quite found space in this zone for James Madison to be able to make things happen for this team.
Yeah, it seems that they're doing a good job defending her, but I think, you know, the ball hasn't been down here that much either, right? So It's hard to get in the groove of things when you don't get too many touches.
Here is Tellekamp, sends it behind to Brookhart. Back in front to Montalbano. She got a piece of that, but a save eventually from Palma. And another chance to clear for JMU.
Great save by Palma. Got low, was ready for that.
A transition chance. Instead, it's sent behind to Haven. They set things up here for JMU.
Be interesting to see if they keep this good ball movement going. Three-second call on the other side of the 8.
Seen a number of those today.
I think that is something you see a lot in a zone. It's just questions if the official sees it.
Here's Caa Kerrigan working. Romsberg had a sliver of an opportunity, instead bounces it back out.
One thing JMU is doing is if it's not 100% opportunity, they aren't taking it. They're being very smart with the ball, and as I say that, she throws it away. Oh, no, she got fouled, I think.
No,
she threw it away.
Threw it away. Towson possession here. Better clearing game for the Tigers here in the second half. We'll see if they can keep that up here as Angie Benson collects. Sends it over to Michelle Gilday, and she'll look to bring it over the midfield line.
Work that speed that they have. Big check thrown there.
Okay, you could hear that from up here.
Trying to reset that shot clock, the proper time.
Fresh 90 here for Towson as we inch towards this midway point of the second half. JMU still a 6-goal advantage. It's Telekamp able to collect that one, but the pass is intercepted.
Way to be big there on the defensive end.
Emma Johnson, a nice defensive play.
Yeah, and I don't even know if Emma should have been there, but her stick was up and she was able to knock down the pass. That was sometimes better to be lucky than good at that point, right?
Exactly.
And she got a great knockdown, so. Good ride here by Towson. They need to do this. This looks good. Right into the other end of the 30, making JMU work.
Johnson looking for an opening.
Good composure on JMU's end. That's good lacrosse. I like that.
Able to get it into this offensive third and set up the offense once again. This is really what we've seen this entire game. Chances for JMU. Towson, some turnovers at the other end, some caused, some unforced.
Yeah, it seems to me that Towson's kind of letting JMU dictate the tempo here. Kind of letting them do what they want to do and giving them the confidence to kind of take that time. Where if I was Towson, I would maybe want to pressure a little bit more, make it a little bit more frantic.
Kerrigan to Haven, feeds in front. A whistle as we're under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock.
So as we go into this last 15 minutes, I think you're going to see that frustration build a little bit. And to just remind those of you that are watching your players to keep their head, to just stay in control, even though you might be frustrated, keep it clean.
Haven back to Kerrigan. Splitting two, shot is saved by Benson. Again, a rebound, but a whistle first.
Another big check there.
And that shot should reset this 90-second shot clock. It's down to 2. And the refs are going to discuss that.
Wonder if they heard you, Travis.
And there it is.
Looks like they did.
Reset the 90-second shot clock here for James Madison. As Katie Kerrigan sets up on this free position.
Thought with her setting up that way that she wasn't going to take that shot, but she realized she has a fresh 90.
Yep.
Why force it when we don't need to right now? Catch our breath. See what JMU can do here.
It's the first game of CAA play for both of these teams. Both teams they were picked 1-2 in the preseason to finish in the conference. A big win for one of these squads to start off conference play. As both were NCAA tournament teams a year ago, that ball is stripped away. Loose ball scooped up by JMU Hannah Haven, and she'll keep it. A quick restart here for her.
Again, another shove. Unnecessary. That's just out of frustration. That's borderline dirty, and
draws a yellow card.
Yeah, I don't know if I would definitely say that that coaching staff is not encouraging that whatsoever. I just think that's a player being frustrated, and We can all remember that feeling one time or the other, but keeping your cool is definitely something that Towson wants to focus on right now.
And that's a timeout on the field with 13:50 to go. James Madison with a big lead, 6-goal advantage here in the second half. We'll step aside here on our CAA Game of the Week here on Lac Sports Network. Welcome back to our CAA Game of the Week. Remember, for all the day's lacrosse news and highlights, be sure to check out Lacrosse Now. From up-to-the-minute breaking news to interviews with the sport's top players and coaches, Lacrosse Now, the go-to destination for Lacs fans. Catch it daily at 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Lac Sports Network. This game will certainly be highlighted in Lacrosse Now later on tonight, back in the LSN Broadcast Center in Boston, as James Madison is closing in on an upset here, a 6-goal lead, as the Dukes, Emily Pulma and company, dancing their way to a 9-3 advantage here with 13 minutes and 50 seconds to go in this second half. Looking for an upset. These two teams, one of them has won the last 9 CAA tournament championships. They've met in the tournament final 5 of the last 6 years. Good chance they may meet again later on this year. James Madison closing in on another regular season victory over their rivals from Towson, Maryland.
You'll see that Towson's man down right now, so JMU's gonna look to capitalize here. Although last time Towson was man down, they actually caused the turnover, so we'll see what ends up happening, but either way, JMU needs to move that ball quickly, find that open girl, let the ball do the work here.
This is Katie Kerrigan working behind the cage. Pass is deflected, picked up by Towson, and the whistle keeps it with the Tigers. And it seems like even in the man-down defense, the pressure has spiked up a little bit for the Tigers, and you almost want to see that when they're at full strength.
Yeah, that's almost pretty frustrating for a coach probably to watch, saying, you're man down, why are you playing better defense in that sense? It's probably more of an urgency feel, but you hope that they can do that.
Tigers in transition. Olivia Conti, the defender, brought it all the way in. Now she gets it to the midfielder and Emily Gillingham, and they'll set things up offensively for the Tigers.
They are man down, so you'll see JMU probably give some good pressure here. They have an extra defender, although they might also just kind of sit back and catch their breath because they can.
Up by 6, time is certainly on their side. Emily Gillingham trying to kill off the rest of this penalty.
Now, yes, Towson is man down, but I'm not sure they have time to waste. So although they're a man down, they might still want to keep that ball moving if they can. It looks like they're all even now in the sense of marked up. And then they have one JMU defender sitting back, kind of just protecting.
And a caused turnover here from JMU.
Yeah, that's what you're afraid that's going to happen when you kind of put yourself out there and in the corner, you don't have much help.
Transition chance. Instead, they back things out. No, it's stripped away by Towson.
Looks like Haley was tired there. She needs to maybe give up that ball a little bit sooner. Rely on her teammates that are on that offensive end.
Here comes Gillingham. Feeds in front to Telekamp. BTB shot is saved.
That's tough. That's a tough one. Good handle inside, though. She handled a high pass there, which was well done. She set her feet. I would probably just have come around and given a right-handed shot, but hey, you know, she's trying anything for her team, so you got to applaud her for that.
It's one thing when we talked to Coach Sonia LaMonica about Carly is her hands in front. Obviously, she's a big target at 6'2", but she's got great feel on the crease, and it's something she was very impressed with Carly, and something that Carly in her sophomore year has certainly developed even more.
Yeah, and with Sonia's background in the lacrosse world, if she's telling me she's impressed by it, I am taking that as a big compliment, because that is definitely a compliment coming from Sonia.
Well, once again, James Madison has a chance to go to work. 6-goal lead. Closing in on the 10-minute mark of the second half. Haven, double teamed, gets out of traffic. Stripped away and collected by Tiana Walfer. And as she was darting out of dodge, she draws the whistle.
I think that's that vision that Shelly was talking about with Leah. But coming back off that knee injury, you know, that'll come. That'll come as she plays more and more. But that was a little bit of a force feed inside by her, and I think that's one she's probably going to want back.
Leah Monticello, number 7 in pink for James Madison, coming off an ACL injury last year that ended her season early last season, and the process of coming back, she missed the first handful of games this year. Now back. Coach Shelly Clays-Balcom saying maybe not quite 100%, still trying to feel things out, but certainly a leader as a captain on this team.
For sure. And speaking from experience, tearing my ACL here at JMU, they get you ready. So there's no doubt in my mind, come tournament time, she'll be ready. Full go.
Gillingham took her eyes off it for a second, but able to collect the loose ball, draw the whistle, and keep here for the Tigers.
Looking to score here on this offensive end. They need another goal to reset themselves. Towson, get them back in this game.
So Monte will provide it. Going top shelf for the finish. Her 3rd goal of the game, and Towson once again trying to work their way back in this thing, now down 9-4.
This is a great handle inside. She's going to have 2 defenders eventually come to her, and she's able to really feel their body, roll off of them, and find that back of the net. Maybe even not even looking. I think she threw it before she even saw the net, and she found that goal. Good for her.
2nd straight goal we've seen like that for Natalie. She re-dodges, able to split a couple of defenders and finish.
We have a scouting report on her. She likes that re-dodge. She does it very well.
Now there's 28 goals on the season. The sophomore has been a bright spark for this Tigers team. We'll see if she can spark a little bit of a comeback now. Just 9 minutes to go. They're going to need to score and score in a hurry.
Yeah, as a sophomore, she's carrying her team well right now. I would encourage some of those older players who have that experience to try and help her out there.
James Madison once again coming up with a draw control, loose ball, but the whistle.
Lots of big swings in there. They're going to call that just to protect the players.
That's been a huge advantage for JMU, a 10-5 advantage in draw controls. And it's really allowed them to control the pace here.
Yeah, and I think controlling the tempo is a big thing. It's evident that JMU wants to slow it down a little bit, and they've been able to do that. Early on, they pushed the brake. They don't need to right now. They're able to slow it down, and Towson's just kind of following suit.
Haven looking to get in the teeth of that defense. Instead, bounces things out.
Great little underhand pass there, getting out of trouble before she got into trouble. Again, lots of bodies in the middle of that 8. I would tell them to kind of get in, get out. Keep it clean.
Romsberg, she's been great today. Couple of goals.
Fancy little footwork by her. Good stick.
Whistle against Kelly McQuilkin for Towson. Katie Kerrigan draws it.
Swing this ball possibly up top again.
Under 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. Another whistle.
I think a focus JMU needs to have is don't get themselves into trouble. If they can avoid it, if they can move that ball quick before that double team collapses on them, you have to expect Towson is going to kind of rev up a little bit here with their intensity, just simply because it's coming towards the end of the game and they need that ball back.
Kerrigan, free position chance here. Goes low. Benson comes up with a save. Out towards the end line. It's backed up, and that should reset the 90-second shot clock, unless they say it wasn't on cage. They didn't reset it, so now just 7. 3 seconds. Deflected, and that'll give it to Towson.
I would agree with you on that, Travis. I thought they should have reset that, but maybe it didn't hit.
Looked like Benson may have come out to the side of the cage, and maybe that was the call.
Yeah.
The refs are still discussing things, and maybe Michelle Gilday who will start things out for Towson. Time running out here for the Tigers, 7:23 to go, trailing by 5. For James Madison, we mentioned a little bit in the first half, this would be a really big win, a win over a top 15 team and your rival in Towson to get to 1-0 in CAA play. Be a really good start to the conference play for the Dukes.
And I think other than that, I think they just need a win. You know, they've played a couple of really good teams, but then they've also played some that they maybe should have won. Either way, they just need a W back in that column.
They've lost 4 of their last 5 entering this game. This would be a big win, and especially for the CAA. We mentioned they had an at-large berth last year. This would be the type of win that would put them back in that conversation.
Typical lacrosse, we never know, right?
As there's a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here as the Dukes and Tigers are under 7 minutes to go in our CAA game of the week. In the Towson huddle, you're Sonia LaMonica. You're down by 5 goals, under 7 minutes to go. What do you tell your team where maybe you don't want to force too much, but there has to be a sense of urgency?
You know, I think at this point, I would maybe just say, hey, let's pretend we're going to go play pickup, and let's just play. I don't think they've really gotten loose. They haven't, they feel tense to me. They feel moody almost, and I would want them to remember, go out there, have fun, get fancy, do some crazy stuff. I don't know, at this point, I mean, yeah, they have 7 minutes left, but they need to get a little bit of energy into them, and there's a lot of walking going on, a little bit of moping, and I would encourage them to remember that they have a great opportunity in front of them just to be on that field and to play for one another. Forget about themselves for a minute.
This is a good time to remind you, the CAA semifinals, they're coming to us here at Lac Sports Network. See the top 4 teams from the regular season square off for the right to be the tournament champion and earn an automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. The men's semifinal set for May 4th with the regular season champion acting as the host. The women's tournament gets underway on May 5th at Towson University. See all 4 games live and exclusively on Lac Sports Network. The CAA Game of the Week on Lac Sports Network. It's all Laccess. Gonna have a chance to be down at Towson for those semifinals.
You have to hope it's maybe a little warmer that day.
Exactly. I hope it will be. In about a month from now, still plenty to be figured out, but chances are we're likely going to see these 2 teams back in the semifinals. Another team obviously to watch is Elon, who has a couple of big wins in the CAA so far. Those 3 nationally have certainly garnered much deserved recognition this year.
For sure. I think both of these teams would consider it a big disappointment if they weren't there at that time. So I think you're right. I think we'll see him again.
Saw goalie Emily Pulma for JMU dancing during the break.
She likes to do that, huh?
She does, and I think it's just a sense of how loose this Dukes team has been today. For a young team that's lost 4 of their last 5, it's pretty impressive to see how loose they've been in this CAA opener against their rivals.
Well, if I know Shelly at all, she's telling her, do whatever you need to do to stay in this game. If you need to dance, then dance. So
she's been good. This Towson, or this JMU defense has been good, giving up just 4 goals so far.
Yeah, you're gonna have an 8-meter here.
Shelby
Looks like
Stack.
they are clearing.
Free position chance here for the freshman from Syracuse, New York.
Yeah, thank you.
Stack races in, gets the free position opportunity to go. Just like that, Towson inching back in this thing, now 9-5.
It's not over till it's over, right? And 4 goals is nothing in lacrosse. So JMU needs to refocus here. This is a big draw control. This can really change tempo of the game. And if Towson realizes that and recognizes that and gets that ball down the attacking end, they're gonna have another shot and make this a whole different feel.
Shelby Stack's 6th goal of the season in her freshman season. Coming out of West Hill High School in Syracuse, New York. Surprised Gary Gate let her get her way.
Yeah, he usually snatches those up, right? Maybe she thought she could go to a little warmer down in Baltimore, Towson area.
As a guy who went to Syracuse, I don't blame her. There's a lot of snow up there in central New York.
Oh, come on, you got the dome. You're all right.
It's always warm and toasty during game days. It's just walking to class that makes it a little more difficult.
For sure, for sure.
Takes some real determination to get to those 8 a.m.s.
You gotta get those winter boots.
A draw control up, a big one here for Towson. Natalie Solmonte comes up with it. We've got a player down for JMU. Looks like Rebecca Tooker's okay. Natalie Solmonte has the ball in her stick for Towson.
Looks like Towson's got some numbers here. Let's see if they push this pace.
Across to Carly Telekamp. It's not quite the sliver of opening she was looking for. Back to Tribby.
Looks like Towson's moving that ball a little bit with more confidence, a little bit more sharp. Amazing what a couple goals will do, right?
Just a little bit of a spark here for the Tigers late. So we're under 6 minutes to go. They trail by 4. So Monte all the way back to Brookhart, took her eye off of it, and it goes over the end line.
That's unfortunate, and that's one of those, as a player, you're mad at yourself because you had the ball and it just kind of snuck away from you. So that's definitely frustrating, and I feel what she's feeling.
Seen a couple of times that long skip pass over the cage that's been a difficulty for the Tigers. Very challenging pass.
Yeah, you hold your breath on that one. I don't know if I'd like that too much, but they seem to have it down somewhat. We'll see. Clearing the ball here. The ride looks a little better by Towson. I'd like to see them up in their hands a little bit more, not letting them kind of feel that nice, easy, hands-free feeling.
Took about 30 seconds for them in this shot clock to get it over, but time is certainly on JMU's side with a 4-goal advantage here, under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted, they could wear it all the way down to the 20, 15-second mark and then look to go.
Really a new strategy this year in trying to determine when do you go, how quickly do you have to attack. Hannah Haven couldn't corral that pass. Angie Benson once again comes out of the crease, and Towson scoops up that loose ball and a chance to maybe get an unsettled situation shot here.
A lot of pink jerseys there.
A lot of traffic for Shelby Stack.
JMU can just hold body position there, not swing. They might make her make a mistake rather than cause that foul.
Quick restart for Stack and a lot of traffic. And she keeps going.
Yeah.
Freshman with all the energy in the world here. Under 4 minutes to play. Towson looking to make things a little bit more interesting here, down by 4. Brookhart splits 2 in front. And then I'm not sure if it was a save from Palma or just a ground ball, but either way, JMU possession.
And there's that vision we were talking about with Sam. She has really good vision. She was able to split that double team and then get a pass off, and that's not easy to do. She makes it look really easy.
Elena Romsberg draws the whistle.
I would tell her to run here. You got 1 to beat. She looks like she's going to pass it back, but.
And that was not an opportunity for a quick restart.
It's a big turnover there.
So Towson going back the other way, and they may have numbers if they go quickly.
Looks like there's some confusion from the officials right now.
I'm going to talk things over around midfield. James Madison looks to put the icing on a 1-0 start to CAA play here.
It's always better to communicate what they're thinking, right? Get in the middle, have a little girl talk, figure it out.
Where are we going to go for lunch after the game?
Yeah, need a coffee, what is it? So hopefully JMU's talking about this defensively. They look like they have numbers defensively, so they should be able to match up okay. But you want to talk about, in a dead ball, what are you going to do?
Here comes Gillingham. Romsberg hot on her tail. Gillingham all the way around the back of the cage. Draws the whistle. Some of the fans in the stands were looking for a yellow card. I don't think the referees agree.
Silly foul there, though. She's behind the goal. She's not going to score. Just play body, put your stick in front. I know it's always easier to say while you're watching. But, you know, just stay low, take her behind, and kind of let your defense do their work.
Gillingham, Telekamp in there right towards the front. Toss to Brookhart. Back out top to Durante. Gets it over to Salmonte. She's got a sliver of an opening. Redodges, loses it, but there's a whistle.
It's got to push there with the stick. She had a held flag, so she was able to kind of redodge, but then once the scoring chance was over, they blew the whistle. That first hash in, which as a player, you always want to get to the first hash rather than the outer hash. Kind of walk your way there.
So a chance here for Salmonte.
Wow.
Does that surprise you?
That surprises me, especially because of the game she's been having.
3 goals.
Yeah.
Going towards 2 minutes to go. Still a 4-goal deficit here for the Tigers. Gillingham collides.
It's a big call there. I'm not sure if the officials have 2 conflicting calls. Nope, JMU's ball. So that was a charge call there.
Big call.
Yeah. The attacker always needs to be in control of what she's doing, and that's what the officials felt, that she wasn't in control, and the defense had their stance and they had their space, so they granted her the award of getting that ball back.
Romsberg put on the brakes, tosses it back around, and now a chance to clear here for JMU. Not a lot of difference between shot clock and the game clock.
Yeah, you just kind of want to spread it out here, get some touches. Don't stop your feet. That is the main key here. Occasionally you'll see players stand with the ball. I would always encourage them to keep their feet moving. Dictate the tempo here, make them chase you, and be confident with that ball.
Minute 20 to go. JMU looking for a win over number 14 Towson here to open up CAA play. JMU got the best of the Tigers in the regular season last year in the CAA, but Towson kind of flipped the script on them in the championship game. The Tigers coming away with the CAA tournament title. Poked away, shot is saved by Benson. Another big save from Angie.
You see on the sideline, Shelly's signaling for them to pass the ball around. I do not think she wanted that shot. That was by Madison inside, who's a freshman. But
that resets
got it
the
back.
shot clock, and now they can hold on to close this one out with 37 seconds to go.
I don't know, Shelly might make them wear these pink jerseys every game, huh?
They seem to work out well, and they're Friends of Jacqueline Day. JMU gonna walk away with a 1-0 start in CAA play, kick away this 2-game losing streak and a win over a top 15 team, which would be their first of the year. They've been in some close games against top 15, top 20 opponents, but this would be a big ranked win for the Dukes.
Just as much as it's a physical win, I think it's an emotional win for them too. JMU can walk away confidently saying that they took that on and they were able to kind of come out on top against a really good Towson team. You know, I don't think we saw Towson's best today.
Elena Romsberg runs behind the cage, and that will do it. JMU celebrating an upset win over their rivals. The final score 9-5. The Dukes with a big win over the number 14 team in the country.
It's gotta feel good, that's for sure. A win's a win, right? No matter who it's against or, you know, by how much. But I think for Shelly and their coaching staff, it's a good time to kind of take an exhale and to say, okay, this team's back on track, and they're back on track at a good time, the start of CAA.
This has got to feel good too. You get a win over your rivals in your place after you'd lost 4 of 5 to end the non-conference slate. What do you think this can do for them moving forward?
I definitely think it builds confidence, and that's important. I think one thing Shelly is going to remind her team that they're going to see this Towson team probably again. There's a chance to see them again, and it's probably going to be a different Towson team. So to remind them to say, you know, you guys, really awesome job. Now, let's not just go act like we won the national championship. We got work to do still in the CAA, and there's other teams to face.
Well, we'll step aside here, our CAA Game of the Week. We'll come back and get some reaction from the team. James Madison winners 9-5 today at home. Welcome back to Harrisonburg, Virginia, recapping a big win for James Madison in our CAA Game of the Week. Travis Eldridge and Kelly Berger back with you to recap this one. And we now have the head coach of the winning Dukes with us, Shelly Clays-Balcom, joining us again. Big smile for you, Coach. This is a rivalry game, a team that you know you're likely going to see at the end of this season. What does this win mean for you guys right now to start CAA play?
It's a great start towards getting to the Final Four for the CAA. We've talked with our team. This conference is good, and we can't expect to be there. We got to earn that way. And today was a great start for the Dukes. We had a huge draw and pulling Towson for the first game of the season. They're obviously coming in hot into this game. And for us to be able to show the defensive effort today that we did and to be able to have the goal scoring on the attacking end, I'm just so proud of my team, especially coming off of the last 2 weeks of play that we've had really, going hard against a tough schedule.
Yeah, Shelly, I think you saying coming off those 2 weeks, you told us that they had a hard time recovering even since Rutgers. So is it a good feeling, a good exhale to be able to go into this week's practice and say, okay, we got a clean slate, we got a win under our belt? Kind of, what are you going in telling them?
I think it's all about ego management, this is a young squad. We've got 3 or 4 starters on the field from last year's team, and they got to learn how to manage their excitement. The loss to Rutgers comes right off of getting that national ranking of as high as 15. These girls haven't experienced that yet. And so, this is just a little reminder of what they can do when they play for the team and they let go of those egos.
For sure.
We have Kristin Guardian next to you. What did her play mean to you? 4 goals for her as a match to career high.
Kristin's, she's so powerful. She's so explosive. She can score in transition. She can score in settled. And I think that, for her right now, she's going to be tremendous for us going up against all these zone defenses that we're going to see in the conference. She can dodge, but she can also finish 8 meters. And I think that that's, ultimately what a zone, it's tough. You got to be able to catch and finish in tight, but Kristin can break them down through dodging, attacking those gaps, and then she can hold them accountable for fouls on the 8 meter.
Well, Coach, we'll let you go enjoy this one. We're going to have you hand it over to Kristin, the star of this game. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it. If you can hand it over to Kristin, we'll talk with her as well, coming off a 4-goal performance, matching a career high. Kristin, what does this mean, this win mean for you guys, knocking off the 14th ranked team in the country, and also your rivals from Towson?
Well, it's awesome. We always find Towson to be our biggest competitor, and we're always really excited for the game. So this is just awesome. It's going to feed our energy for the rest of our CAA season. So going into the Final Four for the championship.
Yeah, Kristin, can you talk about kind of what you were thinking as that game was going on? It felt like you were playing really loose. You were playing really confident. Is that something that, drives from your coaches, drives from your teammates? What caused you to kind of feel that way, or were you just kind of faking it and you were really nervous?
Well, it's been a huge emphasis in our game to have everyone on the attacking end be totally loose and totally excited, even when the defense doesn't make a stop and the other team does score. It's important for us to bounce back, and I think our team is really focusing on body language, and we did an awesome job today hiding whatever body language we were thinking, but we were doing an amazing job picking each other up, picking the defense up, picking all of our team up.
Well, Kristin, congratulations on the win. Go enjoy this one. Thanks.
Thank you.
Kristin Guardian, a 4-goal performance here today for James Madison. Well, for Kelly Berger, I am Travis Eldridge. Thank you so much for joining us here on our CAA Game of the Week. Your final score here from Harrisonburg, Virginia. James Madison 9, number 14 ranked Towson 5. We'll see you later here from our CAA Game of the Week. For now, we'll send it back into the LSN Broadcast Center. Lacrosse Central following things up to recap a busy day in college lacrosse. Thanks for joining us.